Alright. And this will be for the last, because I already talked about Denki Bunko, this will be for the last 3 games. Under Night In Birth EX Latest. So, interesting thing, the ST is in brackets in latest. That is apparently supposed to be a reference to Super Turbo, because it's the final edition of the game, as Street Fighter 2, its final edition was Super Turbo. You know what? I think I have a candle on in here. That might be what's causing the screen to go out of focus, but whatever, who gives a shit. But yeah, I already talked about Under Night In Birth at length. It's just a fucking fun game. It's got big hitboxes, it's got swishy swords, it's got flashy stuff. It's a gay old time. It's a big old anime. All the new characters are cool. Enkidu is cool. I'm really into the Epic of Gilgamesh as like an old mythological, as an old myth, as an old folk tale, as like the first recorded fucking story in history. And Enkidu is like a cool karate man, and that's cool. Him being cool is cool. Yeah, words. But yeah, it's just a fun anime fighting game with a simplified control scheme, but not too simplified. It's just right. It's just good. Yakuza 0. Now, this being the last 3 games, might not have a ton to say about Okami, but the Yakuza series, I don't feel like I'm as into it as everyone else, because, and I'm not going to be like I was into Yakuza before it was cool. I was like one of the first adopters of Yakuza as it was getting cool, so I can't claim the hipster approach necessarily, cause fucking I watched the best friends Let's Play of Yakuza 4 back in the day. I haven't finished their Let's Play of 0 because I wanted to beat the game for myself. So yeah, they got a sale there. Let's Plays help video games, don't hurt them. Um, but yeah, I don't feel like I don't I feel like a lot of people are into Yakuza for the memes. Um, Not to be accusing anyone of being a fake nerd girl. I don't think this is a problem with any particular gender of like, oh, all these girls fucking posting Majima everywhere, fucking lol, you know, oh, what, oh, look at the side missions are so wacky, Humpty Dumpty, everyone enjoys that about Yakuza, and I do as well, but I'm not as, people find Yakuza interesting because it is exceptional, because not a lot of other games are like it. Most games are tonally consistent throughout and are either funny or serious, and and the game is also just very Japanese, so it has a lot to offer that a bunch of other popular games don't. And I do own Yakuza Kiwami. I am going to play that, even if Gaming Brit says that it's not the optimal way to play the first game, but tough. Maybe I don't really care about the perfect Yakuza experience that much. You know? I think the games are pretty good. I'm not as nuts. What I'm really just trying to say is that I am not as nuts about Yakuza as everyone else. I am not as wowed by it. I am not as invested in it. I am not as enthralled. But it's, they're fucking super weird Japanese crime drama fucking beat 'em up RPGs. And I'm not gonna fuck with that. Game is fun. It's a fun game. But yeah. I've owned it for over a year, still haven't beaten it though, so what does that tell you? Okami. Man, Okami is so fucking beautiful. It's the most beautiful game ever made. It's so pretty. Fun fact about Okami HD on the PS3. The PS3 was powerful enough and the graphics in the game were simple enough that they could render it in 4K on the PS3. and it was downsampled to 1080p. So you can bet your ass that you can play it on 4K on this shit. But I don't have a 4K TV, so I don't give a fuck. I'm not super into Zelda likes per se. That's what a lot of people refer to Okami as. And the story does not particularly enthrall me. And I suppose the way human characters, I like human characters to have expressive eyes. And the way that they did it like old Japanese paintings, where they have the tiny little dot or slit eyes. And that's fine. But that might actually be the thing pushing me away from the game the most. I mean, obviously Amaterasu is a beautiful creature, you know. It's beautiful. Um, and the game has a lot to offer and is very unique artistically, but I feel like for the most part it is an art house game. It is remembered for having really strong aesthetics and for being fucking long. Um, but for everything else, the gameplay is kind of blasé. It's not really like other Clover games. It's clearly made a lot more accessible, you know, for people who just like Zelda games and puzzles and basic combat and whatnot, but, you know. And also the feel of playing an action game as a dog is generally weird. I don't know, I feel like I would have been more into it if it was like a platformer or like with puzzle elements and maybe like had like more of a story, because the story is really simple, but I don't know. It's good. I like it just fine.
In the corner to the right.
And that's the fucking weird note I'm ending this list on. But yeah, that's my whole PS4 library. I obviously haven't beaten a lot of games in it. Cause, you know, you just find those few fucking games, you know, those few goddamn games that just stick to you. And you just play those. But I don't want to waste my money. I want to beat every game I have. And that's just how it's got to be, and I'm not going to buy any more new video games until I finally do that shit. But then again, I don't need to, because, like, I can download ROMs to try out old PS2 games. It's never going to work. My backlog is only going to increase. I will never branch out enough. I will never be human. I will never be complete. I will never be whole. But that's okay. Because nothing matters. Especially video games. Thank you for listening to me talk about them. You know, for the few people who will bother. Thank you very much. I hope my voice wasn't too sickly or gravelly or fucking nasally for you. And have a good evening. Man, I feel like if I had somehow integrated the fucking candle into the setup, that would have, maybe that would set a better tone. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out.